They say World War III hasn't started yet, but what if I told you it already has, and you just haven't felt the blast wave yet? This isn't just another doomsday theory. The threat of nuclear war in 2025 isn't science fiction anymore. It's real, it's brewing, and it's terrifyingly close. Tensions are rising, alliances are breaking, and the world is on edge. If it all goes down, do you actually know what to do, where to run, how to survive? Let's break it down. The science, the history, the strategies, and ask the one question nobody's ready for. Will you survive the nuclear apocalypse of 2025? First, let's stop pretending the world is stable. Russia's nuclear rhetoric is louder than ever. North Korea's missile tests are practically weekly. The US and China, not exactly best friends. And with AI now involved in global decision-making, one wrong move could trigger a war we can't take back. But here's the real problem. Most people have no idea what a modern nuclear war would actually look like. They imagine mushroom clouds over cities and assume it's game over. Wrong. It's not just about the bombs, it's what happens after that really matters. Radiation, infrastructure collapse, food systems destroyed, panic, martial law, riots, starvation, and the question is, when it happens, will you be ready? In 2025, global power is shifting fast. NATO is more fragile. BRICS nations are gaining strength. Proxy wars are heating up, from Ukraine to Taiwan to the Middle East. And behind it all, the nuclear option keeps creeping back into conversation. Let's get one thing straight. This isn't the Cold War anymore. Back then, the US and USSR played a deadly chess game with some restraint. Today, we've got more players, more nukes, less diplomacy, and way faster reaction times. Add AI-driven defense systems, hypersonic missiles, and rogue states with launch codes, and the old rules don't apply anymore. Flashpoints to watch. Let's get specific. Here are some places where things could pop off. Ukraine-Russia's war hasn't ended, and if pushed, Putin might go nuclear to avoid defeat. Taiwan. If China invades and the US responds, this could trigger the biggest Pacific War in history. North Korea, Kim Jong-un's nukes aren't just for show. One miscalculation, Seoul or Tokyo could disappear. Iran and Israel, one nuclear strike here could start a regional apocalypse. What happens in the first hour? Let's say it happens. The first nuke is launched. Maybe it hits a major US city. New York, Washington, LA. The blast flattens everything within a few miles. Shockwave tears through buildings, fires rage, power's out, communications go dark. But here's where it gets worse. In the next 15 minutes, retaliatory strikes start. Russia launches at NATO. China targets US bases. Israel retaliates. India and Pakistan go at it. In 1 hour, over 100 cities are gone. Airports, government buildings, data centers, power plants. And you're either dead or underground if you're lucky. The first 7 days. Survival isn't about luck. Assuming you weren't in a blast zone, the clock's ticking. Fallout will rain down within hours. Radioactive dust spreads with the wind. You need to seal off your shelter, fast. Water? Probably contaminated. Food? Supermarkets are either empty or looted. Medicine? Hospitals are either gone or overflowing. The first week is pure chaos. Governments impose martial law. The internet is patchy or down. Banks freeze. GPS doesn't work. And worst of all, you can't trust anyone. People will do anything to survive. That includes stealing your food, your gear, even your life. Where do you run? Okay, here's where it gets interesting. There are places where you might have a chance. New Zealand, low threat, self-sufficient, isolated. Patagonia, remote, fertile, far from military targets. Iceland, geothermal energy, low population, not a priority target. Swiss Alps, lots of bunkers, solid defense system. Northern Canada, harsh climate, but nobody's nuking Yukon. But getting there? That's the real challenge. Airports are shut, roads jammed, fuel is rationed or gone. You need a plan before it hits, not after. Real survival strategies backed by history. Let's break the Hollywood myths. You can't just live in the woods forever. You'll freeze, starve, or get sick. Gas masks don't make you invincible. Radiation seeps through clothes, food, water. The military won't save you. They'll protect high-ranking officials and strategic assets. Civilians, you're on your own. Here's what actually works. A well-stocked underground shelter, food, water, power, radiation shielding. Community, lone wolves don't last long, small trusted groups do. Geography, distance from targets, favorable climate, low population. Knowledge, first aid, radio communication, hunting, farming, radiation safety. And don't forget, mental toughness. Most people break before their bodies do. Lessons from the past. Hiroshima and Nagasaki survivors had to endure months of radiation sickness, food shortages, and social collapse. Chernobyl taught us that radiation doesn't just kill, it lingers for decades. The Cuban Missile Crisis showed how close we came to the edge, and how a single misstep could have changed everything. Operation Able Archer in 1983 was so realistic that the USSR almost launched nukes in response. We've had close calls, we almost ended the world, but now we're cockier and way less prepared. The aftermath. Year 1. Let's say you made it through. The bomb stopped, but the world is gone. Nuclear winter begins, temperatures drop, crops fail, sunlight is blocked by soot in the atmosphere, the global food chain collapses, livestock die, oceans are poisoned. You can't just start farming. Diseases spread fast. No meds, no sanitation, no hospitals. New governments rise, or gangs, militias, warlords. Civilization regresses. It's survival of the smartest. But some places might emerge stronger underground bunkers designed by billionaires, isolated tribal societies already used to self-sufficiency, and countries that stayed neutral and prepared quietly. The shocking twist. Who actually survives? It's not the richest, not the strongest, not the preppers with YouTube channels. It's the people you least expect. Indigenous communities with deep survival knowledge, small farming towns with tight-knit communities, prisoners in underground facilities, and random civilians in the right place at the right time. The playing field resets. Status, money, fame, none of it matters anymore. The survivors? They're the ones who stayed calm, adapted fast, and knew how to work with others. We usually think of travel as leisure, but in this case, it might be the ultimate survival skill. Knowing geography, understanding other cultures, speaking multiple languages, having connections in different countries. If you've traveled, you have a map in your head. You know where the borders are, where the safe zones might be, where the underground shelters were built. Even better, if you're already abroad when it starts, you might dodge the first wave completely. Travel isn't just fun. In 2025, it might be your best weapon. The nuclear apocalypse of 2025 might sound like a far-off nightmare, but history shows us it only takes one bad move to set the world on fire. This isn't about fear, it's about facts, about being ready, because if that day comes, you won't have time to think. You'll only have time to act. So ask yourself now, will you be one of the survivors? If you enjoy our journey, please like and subscribe to our channel, and if you like our content and want to support me, you are welcome to buy me a coffee. The link is in the description box below.